Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine Okoro for those who are new here. For those who are not new to this channel, I know you already know my name. And today I would like to welcome you to another episode of Cooking in My Kitchen. And I'm doing this because I've not gone to work today. I had gone to work only to realize that I was not supposed to report to work today. And I missed the memo. So I had to come back home. And being that I have nothing to do in the house today after doing all the chores during the weekend, I decided to buy some unga and make some chapatis. And I thought maybe it would be good for us to go through the process of chapati making together. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this episode of Cooking in My Kitchen, and let's do this together. So guys, we're going to start the process of making chapati. Here I have unga. This is baking flour that I'm going to use in the chapatis. So I'm going to put some amount of this flour in my here. And then I'll add in some salt. This is salt. Just to taste, not too much and not too little. And then I'll put in a little bit of cooking oil. So after that, I'm going to mix this all together like this. So after mixing that, we're going to put in some water. So I'll take you through the process of mixing with water. So I have to change the camera so that I can face there. So here we have some already the flour. Now we are going to put in some water and mix. Remember the content inside here is just flour, some oil and salt. So I'm not putting a lot of things inside this, just plain chapatis. And so it's water we are adding in. Make sure that the water is not too much so that it's more than the flour. So that is how you're going to do it. So we're going to mix this. So guys, as you can see, I've already prepared the dough, and to be sure that the dough is well prepared, you realize that it doesn't stick so much on around the trough. So that is it. And now the next thing I'm going to do, we are going to cover this dough for a few minutes and let it rest for a few minutes. You can use it's called the counterfoil. You can use either that, or you can use just anything just to cover on it and leave it to rest for like 20 minutes. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to leave the dough here to rest for around 20 minutes, and then we'll be back to continue with the process. So guys, let's do this and see what next. So guys, I had covered the flour for some 20 minutes. Now we are going to uncover the flour and then start the process of making chapatis. You're going to make them into rolls first, then we apply some oil on them, then we make them into some small balls. For the chapatis to have layers, you have to do that. Otherwise, you can still do that without having to roll them into balls and applying the oil on it. But if you want the chapatis to come out with some layers inside, you have to apply the oil and then roll the balls and let them rest first. Then you start the cooking process. So I'm going to do the process of making the balls. So come with me through this. Though I'm holding the phone myself while taking the video, so it will be a little bit hectic. It will be a little bit hard for me to do the two things at the same time. So I hope you understand this, but I'm going to try my best and make the balls and at least show you how they're going to be made. So come with me through this. So I've already rolled the dough on the cutting board. I'm using the cutting board and the rolling pin, as you can see on the other side. So here we are applying some oil on the flour, the dough. So you need to make sure you apply it very well so it goes all around. So that is the oil being applied. Then I'll use my hands, because my hands are clean actually, so I'll use my hand to spread it evenly. Then using the knife, I'm going to cut this into some rolls like this. So I'm going to cut it into rolls, and I think I'll not record this because I have to use more energy and I can't do it with one hand, but that is how I'm going to do it. See, that way. So that way. Okay, so these are the balls, I've cut and then I've rolled them into these round balls. So I've put some flour on here so that I am able to put the dough here, the balls here. So that is it. So I put the flour on this so that they don't stick on here. So that is it, and I'm going to repeat the same process with the dough here. I'm going to repeat the same process with this, and then we can start the process of cooking. So I'm going to do this and then I'll take you through the process of cooking. So here I have the oil, and that is the rolling pin and the knife that I'm using to actually make the ball. So that is it. We are going to see the next process, which is actually be cooking. Now, as you can see, I'm done with the process of making the balls. So from here I'm going to heat the pan, and then we start the process of rolling on the cutting board. Actually, as I said, I'm using the cutting board to roll the dough. So I'll use the cutting board and the rolling pin. Now I want to put the pan on the gas so that it starts heating up, and then we start the process of making the chapati. So let's go through this together. So guys, I'm in the process of making the chapati rolls, and first of all I'm putting some oil on the pan. I'm putting some oil on the pan so that it doesn't get so dry as I put the chapatis on it. So I'm rolling the chapatis here. Chapati, and now I put the first one on the pan and stretch it to ensure it is. I'll put the first chapati on the pan and stretch it to ensure that it gets the shape. It doesn't lose its shape. So there we go. And now I'm going to repeat the same process for the rest of the chapatis, and then from there I'll take you through what will be next. So one thing I didn't tell you, normally I don't just do the process of cooking at once. Normally I put the dough, after rolling, I put the dough on the pan and just dry it without putting oil on it. I dry this as I put it aside like that. Then I'll do the process of adding the oil later on. So for now, I'm still putting the dough on the pan just to dry, to ensure it gets a little bit dry, yeah, as I put them on the side there. And then I'm going to start applying the oil on them and then making the last process of making the chapati. So I'm going to take you through the whole process. So that is it. This one is also dry as I roll the others. But one thing again I'd like to let you know is that your dough doesn't have to be that hard. As you can see, mine, it's not that hard. If you make it so hard, then it means the chapatis are going to be so hard and you won't enjoy eating them. Yeah, so that is it. This is the kind of dough I'm using, not that hard, just to ensure that the chapatis don't get hard also. So that is it. You can see, just drying it and then putting it aside. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'd shown you how they are coming out, though I'm not using that round board to make the dough, but they're actually coming out round because I think it's just the way, if you know how to make them round, it doesn't matter where you are rolling them from. Even if it's on a surface or something like this, it still comes out nicely. So you can see there it's round. Yeah, so that is it. It has to be round like that. Now guys, I'm done with the process of drying the flour, and now we are going to start putting in on some oil. And now this is the final process of making the chapatis. So that is how we go about it. Normally I put 2 chapatis at a go. You can even put 3 if you like, but I choose to put 2. So that is how we go about it. And you keep checking so that the one down doesn't get burned. So that's the end result, as you can see. That is how the ends are looking. You can see the color. You need to keep checking so that the one down doesn't get burned. Yeah, so you can see the colors that I'm getting. That's how my chapatis are coming out, and then I'll put other 2 again. So I'm going to continue with the same process until the last one. That's how we go about this, making chapatis. I actually learned this from my mom. As I had told you in one of my previous videos, knowing how to cook is something that you learn as you grow up. And as I told you again, my brothers know how to do this even better than I can do it. So this is how I go about it. So I'm going to make all the other chapatis just the same, using the same process. And now I'm just going to show you the end results of this, because you know I can't take a video of the whole process. So you guys come with me and let's see how this goes. So all said and done, now you can see the kind of chapatis I made. Yeah, you can see the colors, and you can also see the layers I was talking about. You see? Yeah. So all that is all you actually need to make such kind of chapatis. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would like to ask you, those who haven't subscribed, to please subscribe to my channel and let us grow this channel together. Bye.